Well, hello everyone, welcome to Town to City. We're going to be doing a sandbox mode, but it has all the same rules as the campaign mode, and we're going to be doing a different map. We're going to be doing Fontebrock. The goal here is just to create a lakeside community and just see how cool of a city we can build in a short period of time. This is going to be in 4K resolution, so sit back, relax, let's get to it. We have the capacity for farmhouse residents and townsfolk residents here. This is a special Fontebrock house. That is really cool. We can randomize or choose all one color. We're going to do randomization. And right here, this is looking like a beachfront for me. What I think we're going to do is have ourselves a circular area right here for housing. The central road coming down this way. Get these all built up right here. And we'll probably have a road going this direction as well. Very good. We have our basic houses up. Now I'm going to be using a different brush size this time. I think I'm going to be using a 4 brush size for my roads. That coming down through here. Have our roads just a little bit away from the house because I like to have little private driveways. And we'll get that to circle around this way. Very good. And for these, we're going to use a 2 little pathway here. Looks great. Now I'm going to use a ground paint. And we're going to create kind of a hybrid area where it's going to be shops and then a beach right here. We're going to have shops and a beach all kind of meshed together. Perfect. All right, that's looking good. We're going to get our first shops right here. Right inside the area. It's going to be kind of cool that way. Second thing that we need to do is, I got some cool stuff here. We need to get a research center up, and we need to get a small warehouse up. Now, the small warehouse, I actually kind of want to make an industry area in the back here. And we're going to use a small pathway for this, the plaza tool. We'll do it like such. Actually, to be fair, brick does look a little bit better. We'll do brick. Maybe we'll bump this up to a 3. Give it more road-like features, right? There we go. Get a small warehouse up in the back here. Now these gents would like some trees. Let's get some trees up for them. Got some medium trees right here. We're just going to place a few trees. Beautiful. Now this person can get a decent modifier. Let's go to the one with the 5%. Get 1 laborer. All right, now that we have a warehouse, start putting people into the stalls. That's going to start generating our revenue. We have no workers available. It's okay. This individual wants to be close to someone who is a researcher. But we will need to get that building up too, so I might as well just get it up right now, right? Research center. Get that up. That up right here. Get a little pathway. Beautiful. Here we are. Now we can move this family. Oh, once it's built. This individual just wants to be in a regular house. We're going to take him. Get the second part up. Getting a little bit of money coming in now. That's important. Person wants to live next to research. We need to get an individual into this. Oh, decorations, light decorations. Okay, we'll put them here. My bad. That was research. We'll get them here, and then we'll get a street light. Now remember, it can go onto the house itself once you get the higher tiers. So we'll just put a street light here and over here. There we go. And for some reason, these are actually snapping on. That's interesting. I might need to get that decoration upgrade. Okay, let's get some more people into the research facility. Let's get another person into the small warehouse. This individual wants to be close to where they can get food. Perfect house right there. And we're going to get some ground bushes around the edges for everybody. I always like this setup personally. And then once I upgrade the decorations through tech, we can start applying decorations straight into the houses themselves. And honestly, the lighting above the door looks a lot better than a bunch of light posts. Move this family in over here. Okay, yeah, let's get the fish stall. Yeah, decorate buildings. This is what we need, 20 research points. So let's get that as fast as possible. Speed this up just a tad bit to get that money rolling in. Some more laborers into the research center. Keep moving the families in. Okay, now we have a lot of points. Decorate buildings, beautiful. We have different stalls that we can get. We're going to hold off on that. I think we are going to get the fish stall up though. That will help us generate some additional revenue. We're going to place that right here. You can see that we've brought in more families. We need more workers for these stalls, which is also going to increase the amount of workers we need in the warehouse if we continue on that trek. Okay. Get these individuals moved in. And let's get a few folk in the fish stall. Perfect. All right. Luckily, we do not need additional warehouse workers. And now let's look at decorating. So now we can take the light and we can put it straight on above the door. And this is a really cool way to do this. We're going to do that to all the houses here. Beautiful. You can also attach potted plants to under the windows, and that looks really, really cool. So we're going to do that. Okay. And we did enough of them. Not everybody is the same. Some people have... This guy has a dead plant. We're just going to give him the dead plant. And unfortunately, I can't place anything there because there's a bush right there. That's all right. Let's also get a wall, or I shouldn't say a wall, a nice little fence up around this area. Give them room to have a backyard. So we can place other things in there. Beautiful, just like that. And the same thing all the way around. Start getting this area all organized. Beautiful. Perfect. Definitely want to bring that in like so. Perfect. And we're just going to place some of these small decorations in the back, a couple slides here and there, right? Make it look like people actually live here. We get some benches outside. And you can see we even have back windows and back patios, which we could potentially, attach more decorations to. That's really cool. So we're going to do that on the back side, give a little bit more detail. There we go. Got flowers on all the backs over here, except for this one right here. Let's get that last flower in. Now we can also do lighting on the back side. I like the back patios being lit because I think that's going to look really cool at night. We'll get these on every single house. And you can even do a backlight on the lower sides. That's really, really cool. I think what we're going to do actually is do some side lights here for people who are walking by, just on these two little corners. That looks great. Now we have these patios, and eventually we'll get, things like... Yeah, I mean, we can use these now, little benches. They don't look bad. But we'll get chairs and things that look a little bit more, modern. I'm going to place these kind of in random spots for now. Not everyone's going to get one. I want to kind of, mix it up. There we go. So we're getting some stuff going. And I think what we're actually going to do is wooden fencing at the fronts of these houses. I'm not sure. If we don't like it, we can always delete it. It doesn't look too bad. It looks all right. Come and look at what technologies we can get now. Flower and plant decorations, more trees, bushes. Yeah, we should get everything. And let's keep building up the population. This individual over here, he wants farm decorations. We don't have too many of those. I want to place this individual. No. Oh, eek. Yeah, we'll get some more food. Okay. So we have this residential area. We're definitely going to need more, and there's a lot of room, but we're going to have to build in a way that's a little bit unique and different. There's not as much area to build, so this will be a small little city. Let's get the vegetable stall right up over here. Very good. That will help with some of the bonuses that we need. And we'll get 2 workers in there. Perfect. We need 1 more worker in the warehouse. And I think over here is probably a prime area for a massive housing zone. Because it's one... Oh, wow. We got this whole back area here. Yeah. This is perfect. So over here, we're going to have to be a little smart. This is the nice little beachfront area. And we have plenty of room in the backside for industry and things that help out. That's like a lot of this will be. And right here, we have another place for a little lakeside resort. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to do my favorite thing, which is to create an inner plaza. Do this proper. Get the brush size to 5. And we're going to come up here. And we're going to place a road all the way around. Just like that. And then this road is going to branch out this way. Create a little bit wider of a base right here. Perfect. Now this road was a little bit longer, or wider I should say, than some of the others. That's okay. And then this road is going to come in like so. That will help with warehouses and industry. Okay. So we're going to do townsfolk, just normal townsfolk residence houses here. And these are going to have smaller areas. We're going to need a lot of workers. And this is where we're going to get a lot of them from. I'm thinking we'll have a road going up the hill right there. There we go. Looking good. Get that secondary road going up this way. Perfect. All right, so these houses are a little snug over here. We're going to do a brush size 2. Get some little pathing. You can still have the pathing look kind of natural. And these houses will definitely have better front yards. All right, we have a lot more decorations now. We're going to start with lighting. Getting lights on the front of all of these houses. Perfect. Okay, the lights are done. And we'll get some ground lights too. I like to have some of these areas lit up. I think it's important. Gives it that vibe and that feel. Very good. We definitely have some over here. Beautiful. And the farm decoration houses, these are a little tricky. I'm going to get rid of these folk for now just because I don't know when we're going to get farm decorations. It's a whole nother tech tree. So there's city and then there's farms. So we'll need to start unlocking these and hopefully get some farm decorations here in a bit. But we need farm points in order to get those farm decorations. All right, and now we have these decorations, which I think look a little bit better in the windowsills than the bushes. And we can randomize these. It's probably a smart idea. Give some variety. All right, not bad. Okay, we're getting some good stuff going on here. Kind of wish I could copy a template, right? Kind of nice to have like a uniform base decoration. That's all right. I'll just place all these real quick. There we go. We got that basic setup there. Now we have tall wooden fences. We got more trees. Okay, so for trees, we definitely want a couple of these really tall trees. They help make the place look a little bit more realistic. We'll place a few of these. We're out, and then we'll go back and place some more medium trees. Even placing medium trees in the front yards, I think is a good move. And we're also going to use a stone wall. Kind of trace this background area like such. All right, and we'll just have a little bit of a wall back there. That's looking great. We got ourselves some separated areas. And we do have a lot of research points. Greater reach on markets. Very good. We need 50 people to get a hamlet. And for the farm, we're going to have to start planting grapes and get a farm up. So these individuals, they're happy to live anywhere. We'll take them. They want flowers. Okay. So these areas here are going to have a hard time completely reaching everything. Let me see. They reach partially. So that means these two over here will need to be replicated. So we do have fruit stalls. So we have enough room for the fruit stall right in this area here. We're going to do this is going to be a small little lake area. And we also need poultry stall over here. Ba-boom, ba-boom. I need another warehouse at some point. Get these two up. Yes, he's out of room for warehouses. Let's get that last up. It appears warehouses cannot get to this building. It is placed very far away. Well, that isn't entirely true. That's okay. We're just going to place a second warehouse, and that should reach that area just fine. Let's continue to bring in families. You can see that we're now bringing in a modest sum of money, 472 period, but we'll keep bringing people in. We'll get 3 people in here, and now we can actually remove one of these gents. There we go. Oh yeah, there we are. Yeah, they're saying I've already placed another building, but that's okay, like I said, because it couldn't hit these houses over here. We're going to need both of them. But you don't need to, spam everything. And remember, there's diminishing returns on happiness per stall, but you do get more money. So there is a balance. You don't need to place every single stall in the game. This is a winery. Very small workforce above average capacity. So we're going to get the winery up. I'm going to place the winery actually like right here. Too expensive. All right, I'm broke. All right, there we go. We got the money. It only took forever. And then now we need to build some grape fields. Move in a few more individuals. And there's a lot of good spots up here. I'm thinking, honestly, like I'm thinking back here would be a really interesting spot. We're going to move to a 4-size brush. And we're going to do a fork in the road kind of thing. Touch. I'm thinking back here would be a really cool place to grow grapes. We are going to need a granary, and we can place the granary right here. That's a good spot for it. All right, we're going to go to the next tier. Perfection. Humble beginnings. From small house to slightly less small house. All right. Looking good. Nice. And now we can get apparel and some other things that are going to help us out. We are going to need a farmer's residence in order to get some grapes going. I kind of like this back area here with all the trees. Get this farmer's house up. And get a family over here. Get a family over here. Oh, and look at that. We got some tech points to spend now. So clothing store. Set clothing colors. Ooh, park decorations. I do like my decorations. And then we can move someone into the farmer's quarter. And we're going to need a little bit more housing. Now that we have someone in the farmer's area, click farm here. And we can actually grow however we want it. And mold it around the trees and this whole backside. Oh, cool. Look at that. We were able to get the whole area. So farmland is 3,400 square meters is what we have right back here. They want food and clothing. And they don't have any of that. So, oh, we were just shy. Okay, we're going to move this right here. And we're going to delete this area. I'm going to get rid of the trees here. There we go. Got to get 3 people in the granary for this one farm. Kind of extreme. We got the 3,400 right here. I'm wondering if I demolish this, if we'll get rid of the thing. I kind of messed up. So now that I know that I need the house here in order to hit some of these things, I'm going to put it here. We'll have the farmland all on the backside. I just want to get a little bit of farm points going, but we'll get pretty far into that. There we go. Get the farmer in. Now we can paint. Have a little bit of farmland here. I think I'm going to do it all the way around. There we go. Got our 3,400. Not bad. Okay. We have our workers in the granary. That is quite a bit of workers to get this to go, but it's all right. Now we have a winery, and that's going to help with luxury, and that's pretty cool. This is the first time I've ever had a winery in the game. Very nice. No houses are available currently. That's okay. We'll continue to research things. Next, we need to get to the next tier so we can get the upgraded houses. So we're going to need to build out another housing area. Shoemaker, that's a good one. Now, I do kind of want to keep some of the things close, right? I need to have access for all the houses here. So, ooh, got some new decorations. Ooh, we got the hedges. Hedges are my faves. Okay. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a hedge right here. It look a little nice. And yes. Hedge fencing around lakes, in my opinion, looks really cool. And you'll see when I'm done, it gives it a natural vibe that I think is very pleasing aesthetically. So we're going to continue just to wrap this around the edges here. Also, the fences with lights look really cool. They make it look kind of like a boardwalk type area. Okay, and we have ourselves a tree, which is causing many issues for me. Go. Okay, so now we have this nice little area around everything. And I think we do need a few street lamps on the corners here. Make it look proper. Maybe one. Oh, look at that. I can put it. I forgot you could do this. I always forget that you can also decorate these guys. So you can put little lights on them like so. It's so cool. And, you know, we got ourselves a little picnic table right here. I think this is a great addition. And we can also place I believe some of these you can place flowers off of. These ones are not like that. We'll keep it like this for now, and actually move this here. Very good. All right, and we'll keep decorating as we go. There's a lot to do here. There'll be a lot of improvements. No crops are being sent to this building. That will change in time. We need to grow the grapes. They have not yielded yet. That's going to be a lot of grapes just from that one farm. Okay, so we do need another housing area. So these housing areas are really cool because they look pretty decent and they're wide. They take a lot of room. So if we really want to start, populating the area, we're going to need some kind of like suburb. And back here kind of looks pretty good, especially because some of the industry buildings are going to be peppered throughout this back area. What I think we're going to do is we're going to create what I call in a lot of games, the commons. And the commons is just a place where, the common folk live. And it can just be off a road. Now, I'd like to make these look decent, as decent as possible. So what we're going to do is slap these guys together very tightly. This is kind of like row housing, right? And then the same on the other side. We want to move these back as much as possible. Now, it is very, very easy to make these look good. It's, you're bunching a lot of stuff together, and that in itself doesn't mean that it has to look bad. Okay, that's looking good to me. Looking like a good thing for us. We're going to come down here. We're going to do brush size 2. And we're going to do some simple pathways. There we go. Getting all the paths. I kind of like that they alternate like this at perfect intervals. I think it looks kind of cool. Okay. Now we have this primary area. And what we're going to use are hedge fences in between all these little areas to make them just aesthetically a little nicer. We're just going to place hedging between all of these rows. Okay, and actually what I should have done first is place these. We can place these and then connect hedges in between, and that will make it seem very seamless and very cool. And we are using randomize. I do love that the game has a randomization feature, just to make it easier for you to mass decorate and keep some variety. I think that's probably one of the coolest features in this game. And then now we can connect, as you can see, the hedging, and it looks seamless. This takes a little bit of time, because you have to go one thing at a time, but it's worth it. Now we have a cool little hedged area. There we go. Perfect. We got all the hedges on this side connected, and now I just want to complete the hedge up against the side of the mountain, like so. And then, yes, in the back side. And I will bring this in the back and have it kind of bend with everything until it can't go any further, just to give it, final area. And the same thing out here to give a kind of like a barrier against the cliff side. We'll do a little bit more hedging this direction. There we go. That just makes it feel a little bit more lively. I like it. This looks really cool. And then, of course, we need to add lighting to the front of every door. So at night, these areas light up. There we go. Got one side done. This is great. Awesome. Okay, so now we have a really cool little neighborhood. And we're just going to add some small touches. A couple trees in the backyard. On the sides. A couple more. And let's get a slide or some hopscotch here. Maybe a little slide over here. Make it look a little lived in. This is looking really good. And let's get some on the back side, especially because we'll be viewing this from down here. I think it's a good idea to get some decorations. And we'll have to wait till we upgrade these houses to do a little bit more. But I definitely want to get just some basic flowers on these. These houses look so plain. They have, no decorations. They look abandoned practically. So let's just get some basic decorations on these windows. What's cool is there are 5 maps, so I would assume that there are different styles of housing. I know at least there are 2. And we'll get some flowers in the top section of the map. Or sorry, the house. The top housing section. Okay, cool. That's looking really good from the distance now. That gives us an area where we can just start mobbing individuals into. Now we are going to need some basic foods. So I'm going to get a secondary cheese stall. I like this area right here. So we're going to do kind of like a little circle area right here. And in this circle, that's actually a pretty good circle. In the circle, we're going to have all the things that we like. Let's paint the ground. We're going to do a plaza here. Paint it like this. And at a bare minimum, you're just going to want to make sure that you have some foods here. I think a veggie stall, which we don't have anywhere. I think that would look terrific here. And we could place it inside the circle. And we'll do a cheese stall. And we'll do a fruit stall. There we go. We got 3 stalls in the little area there. That's beautiful. And eventually I'll start decorating that as well and organizing. Place 1 person into the pool. 1 person into the pool. Yeah, we're looking pretty. We're looking pretty. Now we can put some more people into the small warehouse. It does look like we're having some warehouse issues. So I think at this point, what we want to do is build the larger warehouse. Let's go to our tech tree. Let's learn the large warehouse. 2nd floor is 300. We need to learn that. Butcher is amazing. We're going to learn that. And that's, are we getting any farm points yet? No, sir. Okay. Well, we'll look into this in a moment. But let's get some more people up here working. Move these gents into these houses. Okay, I do know we need a clothing store. We're going to place a clothing store right here. That will help everybody out. We're going to place a shoemaker also in these parts. I'm going to place him right here. And then connect him by road. Let's place 3 workers in the clothing store. Ton of workers into the shoemaker. Let's destroy this warehouse. Let's place a large warehouse and instead right here. Go. Now we can fill this one up. Once this is purchased, we'll be in good shape. Requirements. Buildings not receiving any crops. A click to enable. Oh my gosh. All right, so there's a click to enable button there. Fantastic. Good to read. All right, we'll place 3 people into the warehouse. Nice. Now we have the farm connected. Now these individuals over here, they are showing that they don't have anyone to facilitate them. So what we have to do is manually do that. But what I think we're actually going to do is move this warehouse closer to this zone. And that will help there. And then we'll use this large warehouse right here and use this for the majority of things we need over here. There we go. So we have a large distribution network now. Everything is fairly close to this warehouse. This warehouse over here, we can get rid of 1 worker. It is now facilitating the nearest zones, which are the shoemaker, the clothing store, and these facilities up top. This is fantastic. Now we have a large area for people to move into. And we need to get those farm decorations. A lot of the people we're getting really want farm decoration. Get a few more souls working in our glorious fruit stands. Come on. I know you can do it. There we go. That tree was blocking my click. All right, now we're getting farm points. So let's get corn, let's get wheat, hay decorations. Okay. So we're accumulating farming points now. That's great. I want to get the 2nd floor housing next. So I'm going to hold off on spending any of the research points till we can get there. We're going to up the winery. So now we have a glorious winery and a lot to do. So let's come down here and start decorating while we wait for those points to accumulate. I don't really have too many of the decorations that I want for this, so we're going to have to hold off. But things are looking good. I will say, we do need to decorate these gents with at least lights. Ooh, picnic basket. New one for me. Yeah, being able to put lights on the front end of these stands is so cool. These definitely really look good. It makes the area just look so much better. There we go. Get some lighting on that. That looks great. And we do have these small wooden arches. Ooh, okay. So I am going to destroy the wooden fencing here. And we're going to use small wooden arches and then connect fencing. It will look a little bit sharper. It's kind of hard to intersect items in this game, so I found, unfortunately, when you do get something really cool like this, it's best just to place it down and then connect the items after the fact. It looks cleaner, it looks sharper. Otherwise, you have some kind of weird overlaps that aren't really appealing to the eye. So now that we have those, we can connect it by fence. I mean, to be honest, I don't really even like the fence. It's a little weird. I think stone walls would probably look a little bit better and would line up with what we have here. There we go. That. All right, it is a little wonky. I could have done this a little bit better, but I think that this will look really good. And then, yeah, then it's just stone walls around the whole thing. Perfect. Okay, that's looking pretty awesome. And, oh, you know what? We can connect them. We can connect stone walls like such. Make this one giant awesomeness. Go. Now this is looking great. And look at that. Perfect fit. That was fate. Okay, yeah, so we'll have that there. And we can have one right there too. And I'm wondering if we can decorate these. Can I? Oh, I was hoping I could attach lights to them. Doesn't appear that we can. But what we can do is place lights here and here on either side, like we have over here. And maybe do a little bit of, you know, decorating the entry points to make it look a little bit more lively. We're going to place some nice little sunflowers here. And then over here, you don't really have too many options. So we'll just stick with 2 sunflowers. There we go. That's the cool thing about this game, though, is you just make little additions as you go. Okay, and we need some tech. Okay, so second floor housing. Beautiful. So now we can start upgrading these houses, which we're going to do, all of them. And it did keep the flowers. And that's a good use of our money. So there's a lot more space for people to move into. But the main kicker is, how is our farms going? We need 320 points here. We got the bakery. We got hay decorations. So let's get some hay decorations. Ooh. Hay roof. How does that work? Okay. We can get ourselves a scarecrow. Well, the scarecrow gives a massive radius. That's cool. We could place it in the field out here. I'm going to do that. I'm going to just give this dude a scarecrow out front because it's going to hit a bunch of houses. I think it looks, it looks kind of cool, I guess. So now we have, -8. Yeah, okay, over here, 17%. That's great. We'll move them over here. We're going to need a few more workers, of course, to facilitate the food requirements, the food demand. Here we go. Beautiful. Looks like everything is in a good synergy now. Let's pop on over and see. Let's get the bakery. Why not? Not going to do anything with it quite yet. And we're still waiting on a few things here. We need a few more tenants before we can go any further. These gents like to live in areas that are highly populated. It's a good one to have. Realistically, we just need a lot of workers. Up the shoemaker. Get some more people making shoes. And let's get these houses upgraded. Okay, beautiful. I just wanted to get those back patios and those back windows. I'm kind of wondering, but you know, we got these farm decorations like a hay cart. Okay, that's weird. Scarecrow. Can I put the scarecrow inside the house? No. All right, let's get some flowers on the back here. I think this is going to look very good. Get them in the windows. Get something going on here, right? And we can get some flowers hanging off the back side there. Right there. Perfect. Okay. We got a little bit going on. Not bad. And, we could get lights on the back part so that at night when we look up here, it's going to be bright. And that's cool. All right. Very good. We got lights on all the back pieces there. Continue to move individuals in. Okay, we just need a few more people to go to the next tier. We're getting very close. And there's a lot of housing to go. But at nighttime, this place is looking really cool. I'm liking this build quite a lot. Alright, it is now daytime. This individual wants to live somewhere where there's a clothing store nearby. I mean, the clothing store is right there. That's weird. Not getting any bonus. I'm not going to take them. It gets a little hard to get bonuses without lowering taxes, so I want to make sure I have really, really happy individuals. And you can see that our farmer happiness is fantastic. It's 74%. He seems okay. There we go. Over here. Okay, we're ready to go to the next zone. So let's upgrade right now. This is perfect. We're going to get a slightly bigger house now. Beautiful. Slightly bigger. Okay. We're going to get these stalls up. There we go. You see we're making 2,000 now, which is a lot. I have many unemployed residences. Okay. Yes, sir. Get this going. I like to build up my populations. So, you know, optician's good. Yeah, we want to get the new research equipment that ups our max everything. And now we can have 1,000 research there. Go to the farming sector. And let's go to tier 2. Nice. So in tier 2, wow. Wow. Extra granite, roses, cotton, beeswax. And there seems to be 4 tiers. That's cool. That's a neat little tier. And there's going to be a 3rd region when the early access continues, but not in this right now. Let's continue to move individuals in. I'm thinking that we probably need to focus a little bit more over here. Now, you know, I do have a bakery. I could corn and wheat. You don't need to have these things, though. They're nice to have, but you don't need it. We have a winery. That seems to be sufficient for the time being. You know, the mayor's house would be a good addition, but I don't like him. I don't want him to be a part of my society, so I'm not going to build the mayor's house for a bit. The winery is doing a fantastic job. Let's bump that up 1 person. Continue to move folks in. And now that we are, you know, producing quite a bit of wealth, it's going to allow me to start upgrading all the houses. And that's what we're going to do. Can't upgrade the farmhouse, which is a sad thing. I really like the way that these new houses look, though. They look cool. Alright, so we're going to use our money to just continue to upgrade and move people in. And you can see we have quite a bit of unemployed folk. 32. That's great. We're going to need a lot of them once we start getting into the deeper portions of the game. And we're going to need 180. Once we hit 180, then we go to the next tier of individuals, and that's where things are going to get spicy. Now, at this stage of the game, you start to realize that the bottleneck is research points. So it's actually a pretty good idea to have 2 research centers just to speed up this stage so that you can get into more technologies faster. You can always destroy it at a later point, or, you know, just not have people working in there. Not a big deal. And so let's get some roads on the back side here. These individuals look like some trees. Do that. Surrounded by decorations. One with 14 down here. We still have a lot of decorating to do, but I'm waiting for when we get the better decorations, because some of these just aren't up to speed. There's some better ones. Now, the mayor's office gives you like little missions you can do that give you some unique decorations, so it's advantageous to that respect. So maybe I should get the mayor's office up, even though I don't like them. All right, let's go this direction. Start upgrading some of the houses back here. The row housing is looking pretty nice over there. Puppet theater and barbers. Upgrade roads. Now the upgrade road feature is actually very, very advantageous because it lowers the amount of warehouse workers that you need. I will say I don't like that all the roads have to look the same. We may need to wait till we have a little bit more money. It's kind of pricey. Let's continue to move folks in. Okay, and there we are in the last tier for the basic villager. Now we go to the next tier of workers. And we get a fancy house with a clock. Because the farmers are unhappy, crops are not being harvested. So it doesn't have access to the clothing. Ah, okay. These are very sophisticated farmers. And we need to get them happier. There we go. The clothing store can't reach yet. I'm going to move the clothing store over here. Oh, this is bad. They're just too far apart. This is a good spot, actually, for industry buildings, too. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get a clothing store and some things back here. I'm going to have it facing like such. And we're going to have a butcher back here, too. We'll just have a little pathway, a little storefront back here. Yeah, but we can get our shopping needs from over here. The warehouse out there. Perfect. And the butcher, that's a lot of workers. Also going to need some more warehouse workers. Ba-boom. Might need to get another warehouse. And that's actually why we need to upgrade our roads. So let's upgrade the roads instead of getting more warehouses. There we go. So you see how I did that? It requires less warehouse workers. It's pretty important to get your upgraded roads. There we go. Now I got 3 workers back instead of needing another one. Perfect. I think the butcher can get further away. Awesome. All right, so now they're not sad anymore. We're also generating a little bit additional revenue from these new items. All right, so we're gonna get this build out with new tech. We got 44 people free, but again, we're gonna start upgrading houses here in a moment. Now that we're a small town, we can get the artisan class. And that's gonna change a lot for us. So let's get some puppet theater. Theater is good. They're demanding a little bit more leisure. All right, we're gonna get the theater up right here. The farm really wants this puppet theater. I don't know. I guess if, you toiled in the fields all day and puppet theater is all you have, who am I to deny that? Yes. Dance, my puppets. Dance and farm. Okay. Let's do it. I think we're almost full up now on families. And we're making really good progress here. But this is why I was saying the real bottleneck in this game to progress has always been research. You can always build more houses. You can always generate lots of money, even with the basic resources. But yeah, let's fill up that research bar and let's just start hammering away. Let's see what we got. Okay, artisan class. There we go. So we need to get 30 artisan to go to the next tier. And once I start upgrading houses, this is where things go to get harder. So we're going to upgrade these houses to artisan. And you can see that we're going to start losing a lot of workers. But they demand luxury goods. So the winery produces luxury goods. We're going to need more. And these luxury goods, nice. Yeah, artisan residence. Very cool. These artisan goods require an immense labor force. So we have shoemakers, we have XYZ. Got a clothing store over here. And we need enough workers for all of this. Okay, and the clothing store down here. We're going to need just a little bit more. There we go, we're doing great. Increases the luxury of the shoemaker. That's a very smart one to get at our stage. Alright, so tier 2. Utility decorations. Let's get cotton, beeswax, roses. Got a hatter. That's a cool one. That's a really cool one. So for decorations, we got a big shed. And we got a water pump. Alright, we're going to put a water pump in the middle of someone's yard. I think that looks okay. Let's see. Now, I also will say they do get a happiness from the places they work being decorated. That's something to think about. Alright, so the shoemaker is now producing luxury goods. We need to start researching things that can produce more luxury goods for us. The smithy is a really good one. Yeah, smithy is a fantastic one. So let's get ourselves up a smithy. One of the first wares that we can get up. And I'm going to put it on the backside right here. I'm going to hit the majority of these houses over here. Let's also make sure that we've upgraded the road leading into this industrial area. Yes, we have. Let's make sure we've upgraded all roads, in fact. I am broke once more, so we have an ugly road right here. Alright, perfect. So we've maxed out the butcher. We're gonna max out the smithy. We're gonna need a little bit more of a warehouse. That's not bad. We just need one more worker. Okay, we're doing well. We just need to produce one more luxury good, and I think we're gonna be in good shape. Entertainment's doing a good job. So let's come over here and eye our next move, carpenter. That's an easy one. Get the carpenter up. Now the carpenter I think I'm gonna place back here in this zone. Yes, sir. Place it right here. Yeah, right here. Too expensive. Okay, let's just wait a little bit and get that money. All right, right there. Ba-boom. And that is a lot of... So we can use artisans here. We're going to hold off on that because artisans are used for special buildings. Anytime I can use a regular... What's kind of crazy at this stage of the game is you don't realize like how many people you're going to need. It's a lot. And your artisans are the ones who can build or operate some really, really high value buildings. And they're the only ones who can do it. So you want to hold off. Otherwise you have to go through all your buildings and find all the artisans and get rid of them. So yeah, this is pretty extreme. Now we don't have puppet theater over here. So I want to get a puppet theater up in this area right here. And we got one over there, but puppet theater over here. Boom, boom. Gonna help us out tremendously. Go to our research. Let's come back up. Plaza decorations, definitely. That just gave us quite a bit. So this is what we wanted. We got posters and we got sunshades. So sunshades we can place now on the beach. Perfect. And we got these posters and that's kind of cool. I'm gonna do free advertising on the side of this building. There we go. When people walk by, they got free advertising for the freak show. I'm assuming this is the puppet theater. I don't know. That's kind of cool. Ooh, we got statues. The dude on a horse. Who doesn't like statues of a dude on a horse? I think the white one looks better. All right, we're gonna do a central statue. And we're gonna put some nice things around it. Bushes. Interesting they don't let you put anything else next to it. We're gonna move the bushes over here. And we're gonna place some seating underneath the statue right there. Very good. I'm gonna place like a few small little plants along the way. All around this area. I think it will give it some flair. And get ourselves a big old flag. Oh nice, look at that. You can hang flags above windows. Kind of cool. I'm gonna just do a few of them, just give it a vibe. Instead of lights, we'll do flags. Very cool. Yeah, I like it. That's neat. Alright, we're almost full on monies. Extra warehouse workers is a good one. City Hall allows us to adjust tax rates. It's very useful. We're not quite there yet. Clockmaker is probably one of the better ones to get. Okay, it looks really cool in the background. Alright, we're gonna get the clockmaker up back here. And I believe it's an artisan only one too, so I want to build things to get the artisan workers to work. Yes sir, it is artisan only, and that produces quite a bit of luxury. So there we go. So now we're in a place where I can upgrade all of these. There we go. And we have a good amount of workers still. There you are. And now we can upgrade to the next tier. Beautiful. Every time we upgrade, we get bigger clocks. Now we have 2 clocks. Yeah, it's looking sharp. That's looking very sharp. As we continue to upgrade, we're just going to get more and more stuff. We're going to need a lot more houses than what you think. That's the crazy thing. We're going to need an army to support everybody. Continue to move folk in. And there's also a tier 3 house, so that will help us tremendously. We're going to continue to look at our bottom line, though. Clock decorations, wooden furniture, stonework decorations. Yeah, new money vault for sure. That way we can accumulate more cash. And new research equipment will be the next thing I get to. I get kind of caught up decorating and forget. And then third floor housing. We need to get to 80 and then I think 120. We're going to need more artisans, but every time, you know, we bring in more artisans, well, we need more workers. Public service buildings nearby. We don't have any of those yet. Let's just keep moving in the regular families. Okay. We have a few more people who want to move in, and we did get some houses upgraded. We'll move them in over here. We're going to need a little bit more decoration variants over here in a bit. And we add a few picnic tables, random spots. Pretty good. That's interesting. I didn't know you could place, I don't know. Like plants just look kind of like lily pads. Interesting. Oh, they have like flowers around it too. Oh, that's cool. So it turns into a lily pad in the water. I didn't know that. I had no idea you could put lily pad flowers in the lake. There's so many things that just aren't fully intrinsic. Oh, that's a good one to note. Nope, can't put trees. You can put the flowers out there. Okay, so they have to be the specific flowers. Okay. We can randomize these. Cool. Alright, give a little bit of that touch. It's a little odd. Big shed. The sheds are interesting. I'm gonna put a shed in the back out here. See what it does. I think that's one of the barnyard ones, so that should give us barnyard coverage. Right. Get this one. Alright, we've upgraded pretty much every house that we can, so we're gonna have to get the tier 3 housing next. There we go. Now we have tier 3. To really start working on all the other tech points. Farming. I think we have the next area we can unlock now. Let's do that. That gives us hops, potatoes, tomatoes, lettuce, doghouse. Farm surface increase. Very cool. Tier 3. There's some good upgrades here. And we have a lot of money. Let's upgrade the road. I don't think I upgraded all the roads. Ooh, we have a lot of money left over now. Get all this upgraded. That will help. Alright, tier 3 houses. Here we come. How many do we have now? 46. So we want to go to the next tech tree as soon as we can with the city. And we're going to need 80 people. And they're going to require a lot of luxury goods. So we're going to need to move some new families in. I think right there is a healthy amount. We'll just continue to move families in here. That should get us to 80 pretty quick. It looks like we're actually keeping up with the luxury demands for all these people. We're going to leave it right there. Now, go. Yeah, we're doing a good job. We need to move people in. Already maxed out our tech. Things like newspaper stands are really, really good. Upgrade our tech points next. Beautiful. There we go. We'll be able to upgrade here in just a moment. Need 2 more individuals. We can go to the next tier. Oh yes, the chapel. This is a good one. I actually want to get this up right now. Public services. Get the chapel up right in the back. And we'll get a newspaper stand right here. Too expensive. Yeah, it's like 17. It's pretty expensive. Alright, we can at least get the church going. That's going to be huge because the demand is 270 and we can produce 250. That's pretty good. There we go. That's what we needed to get to the next tier. We're going to go to the next level right now. That's kind of cool. Like once you kind of know what you're doing with this game, pretty easy to progress. And I like to progress quick so that I can get the better decorations. Very nice. Very nice. We have a big old building now. Very elegant. So, tier 6. We're going to continue to upgrade houses. I need to start generating more money so that I can progress a little faster, but we don't have to. Let's get a stand-up once we have the money. And we'll just continue to move people in. You only really need a small area of artisans, and you don't need to go too crazy. So we can see that the next tier requires the next stage of people. There's 25 of them, and they kind of suck because they require a ton of luxury goods, and they don't provide any kind of work. Now you want them to be close as possible to all the good stuff. These four houses back here are kind of actually in an ideal spot. But these are going to be a new building once we get it unlocked. So we'll have to pick a good spot for it. And this, I don't know if this will be it. Get these houses out over here. No more available housing. Keep bringing in new workers. You can see we have, look at all these windows we have. We definitely need to decorate these. Kind of cool is we can put flags up top too. You know what would be kind of interesting is putting lights on all the windows here. At night, that might look really cool. Kind of makes it look like a casino. Can't come back from the... Yeah, that looks cool. Alright, yeah, this is kind of like the flagship part of the town, so it needs to look, in my opinion, the best. We can still put flowers underneath everything, so that's cool. Alright, we got flowers on everything. I need to add something just to make it look a little cooler. I'm also thinking, you know, some extra trees. The middle parts here, pretty nice. Start getting a few more trees up. Trees, I think, are one of the better fillers. Makes everything good. And it's important to put trees on the outside of fencing areas, too. Otherwise, it looks kind of weird. Looks like barren. Okay. We got some good trees. This area is starting to come together. But yeah, and I forgot that the shades, the shade that you see here, you can put these on windows, too, and create sunshades. It's pretty cool. You can see here in the back, we can put up shades instead of lights. That does tend to look a little nicer. There. And so yeah, there's a lot of ways you can do this. You don't have to always do it the same way. All right, maxed out tech. So warehouse efficiency is fantastic. I really want to get to the next tiers here. Let's get new research equipment so we can max out our tech to 2,000 points. That way, when we're decorating, we're just accumulating more in the background. And let's see, where can we move? Got a lot of options. Nope. Cute. Perfect, we got 84 artisans, and that's about as many as we need. We're accumulating farm points, but pretty slowly. Local pub. Ooh, 1,200 points. Doghouse. Hatter. I want a hatter. That's the color of the hats. I'm curious what a hatter takes. Do we have to grow a certain material? No, I don't. Oh, that's cool. Okay, we're gonna get a hatter right here. Fits. I like the blend of industry and town. I think this is a pretty good, like everything's really dialed in, really tight. Okay, let's get some laborers in there. Oh crap, I was wrong. It takes a lot. Well, that's unfortunate. I don't really feel like growing all those things. The luxury isn't really worth it for the cost. Farming in general doesn't seem to be completely necessary. You can hit everybody without any of that stuff. It's just another aspect of the game, right? Alright, we've almost maxed out our money, so time to upgrade these to tier 3. Now we have plenty of room for people to move in. We're definitely going to need a lot more workers, a lot more luxury goods. So let's go back to the city, and let's start from just the last place we left off, and let's just start buying out everything. So this giant fountain, this thing's pretty cool. I wonder if we could put it in the lake. No, we can't. So if I want to incorporate this somewhere, You see it has a massive radius. This would be a fantastic location for it. I think what we're going to do is we're going to place it right here. I'm going to take the road tool, boot it up, and go all the way around it. Plenty of room over here. Go off at that direction. We'll upgrade. There we go. Little markings all around it, but we'll do something with that at some point. And definitely want to beachify this whole area now. Makes it look a little cooler. Make this kind of feel more like a place people go to for the beach. There we go. Make it blend together. I think we're going to need to get some houses back behind here. Or something. To help pull this in so it doesn't look so weird on its own. Yeah. I want to do that right now, in fact. So I'm going to get a whole little area out back here. I think we're going to need a lot more houses than what we have. And what's kind of cool is we can share this fence. Oh, look at that. And we can align this area with this industrial area up over here. Perfect. Boot that up to a size 4 brush. Plaza. Wing it about. Bring that in. Good. And then upgrade all of this. Go. Thinking may need to move Smithy a little bit back. Get this road situated so it looks more normal. Okay, here we go. And then with the road, we're going to do a size 3. No, size 2. Down. Upgrade all the roads. Go. Use a large hedge fence here. Go. Create a little area. And I think what we're going to do is something kind of similar to what I did over here. For the entry paths to all of these. Is I want to do hedge fencing. But I think we're gonna do hedge with wood. Add a little wooden awning. I guess you wouldn't call this an awning, but like a little hedgeway. And I think we're gonna use tall hedges for this whole thing. I think tall hedges will look a little cooler than the short ones. All right, got that. I'm gonna make sure I'm angling these well. There we go. Alright, so we got this whole area, and we'll get some lights above all the doors. There we go, lights on all the doors, and then most importantly, getting trees, some basic stuff to the yards. Alright, that looks great. Got a really natural vibe to it. Get some flowers, windows. Alright, and we'll continue to decorate these things, but that looks really good. Like, just, you know, a very simple thing to do. Need to get some, you know, trees in the back here. Very good. Get some trees in between this area over here. And that kind of makes this area look a little bit more natural. Gonna remove the road going that way for just now. And kind of smooth this out. Go. So now we have kind of a natural little loop that's looking really good. I'm not gonna lie, that looks really good. I'm actually kind of wasn't sure how that was going to turn out, and it turned out really well. Let's get some more trees in the back here. You get a couple big ones, right? Go. That looks good. And then same thing over here, maybe a couple big trees. Back side here, kind of cool to get some trees in the back there. All right, things are looking sharp now. We have a lot more people that can be moved in. And we're also going to need to get some goods up for them. Our tech is now maxed. So I'm just going to go down the line and we're just going to learn everything in order. We'll get down to that area. So I like to get to this point where I'm doing really well and then just accumulate tech points and buy everything and decorate. It's a good use of time. So get as far as you can. Ooh, that was the wrong move. Okay. What do they want? public service buildings. Okay. We'll get into those in a bit. Okay. So now we want to look at the happiness. So these places don't have a lot of goods. And over here is like such a beautiful location for like a few little areas. So we just put up a poultry stall, and we're going to put up a vegetable stall here. Or I can literally place it anywhere. 2 vegetables right there. Okay. Poultry going. Vegetables going. I just need to make sure we're generating money on these people and also getting, you know, some happiness. So we're going to have an issue where we need some warehouse workers. Oh god, why did I put artisans in this? Very silly. Yeah, we want to make sure we're holding off on that. There are going to be some bigger buildings that we need the artisans for. Okay, and let's move these individuals in over here. Very good. Alright, so we have a lot of housing. And this whole area down here probably needs to be built out. I mean, what we got going on here is really nice. Looking sharp. Move rocks, City Hall. Got a bunch of cash now. So we should for sure start upgrading houses like crazy. Okay, most of these are all fully upgraded now. Very good. Very good. Right. I can kind of tell that we're like the barber, you know, the optician. These things all need to come in at some point to design. And we're going to need to start destroying some trees. Get the optician in. Right here. Great. The barber. Let's get rid of this tree and put him in right there. There we go. Barber right there. That's awesome. We can cram all these little buildings in this back road. Go. 345 demand. That's quite an impressive demand. Let's get the barber going. So the main individuals, they're going to need access to a lot of this stuff. And we got a nice spot over here with 6. It's good enough for me. So I think our next research point I'm going to skip a little bit. I would like to get the Virgo Ace class up. Okay. Yeah, these are thin. These are pretty good. So we're going to have a lot of stuff built around this area. So these gents need to go somewhere smart. I honestly really like this spot for them. And this is going to hurt me in a way. Don't know how badly it's going to hurt me, but I do feel that this is probably the best location for them. That's kind of interesting. I need to get rid of these roads. Okay, so we're able to get 4 of them up right here. That's looking sharp. Looking good. They have access to a lot of things already. We can start decorating these. You can see their demand for luxury goods is substantial. And the doors are all the way back in here. Let's see, what lighting can we put? Alright. We can do... Okay, we're going to do the lights on the corners here. Gonna look really good. And this is the elite class. They don't do anything. They don't work. They don't do anything. And we need to make sure they're happy. Move individuals in. And let's also upgrade them to tier 3. Those are huge. Okay. And we're probably going to need a lot more workers now. We have two spare workers, so we need to continue to fill in the basic working class, and that's why you need a heavy work class. That's why you'll see me do this, where I just start really busting out just a ton of people. We're out of workers. Okay. So now we have a new threshold that we need to get to. Creating enough luxury goods for all these individuals is going to be rather difficult. But we will get it. Right here is a nice little industrial area for us. We have a nice quaint little area for all the workers. Okay, get the city hall. Let's just make sure that we got all the tech points before that. Now we can just, like I said, go one row at a time and just make sure we have everything. And honestly, these clock decorations are some of my favorites. I like to put them in areas like over here, facing the people. Put a clock or 2. Yeah. Go, put a clock there. There we are. This is looking good. I wonder if I can... Yeah, you can hang clocks. So We can hang clocks in the center of these things. That's kind of cool. You can turn basically any building into a clock tower that way. That's really neat. And a flag. Why not, right? Couple flags. Not bad. I do think that the sunshades probably look pretty nice. I think we should probably keep them all one color. But with blue. Right, got the building decorated. This is my first time decorating the buildings, and I feel like I missed out on that. Not knowing about how you could decorate the buildings till way late. There we go. Yeah, it's looking sharp. Okay. We got rid of those, and we're going to replace them now with the correct color. Everything is one color. It's looking good. That's kind of cool. We can put these down here. If I play my cards right, I actually do have enough room that I can do the heavy hedge. Give them somewhat of like a little private garden community looking thing. Okay, yeah. Gotta keep the common folk away from my richies. There we go. Gives them a little bit more privacy, right? There we go. Okay. That looks a little sharper. Looks a little nice. And we'll just continue to flood in a bunch of workers and start working on luxury goods here momentarily. Got a bunch of new decorations. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, some of my favorite decorations. Post box. You can place the post box outside. A few of these, right? Give a little flair. Oh, wow. I didn't know I could put a banner on this dude. Kind of cool, actually. Put banners on the sides of buildings, too. Those little details that you just kind of see in the distance that really add up. We do have some signage. I'm going to put some signs. I don't know what the names of these streets are, but we got some signs. Ooh, a bell. I didn't know about that. Put the bell right here. I don't know if it rings or anything. But the main thing we got that I wanted were metal benches, or like these benches, pier benches. I'm going to place a couple of these out in the front. People have a shaded area to sit down and look out into the awesome lake. Oh, this is a cool spot over here, dude. Cliffside. Yes, sir. Okay, that looks good. We got lanterns. Put a little lantern on the ground here. Kind of cool. Got the big guys here. I don't know. It's the same light upgrade for all. Yeah, the overhang one actually looks pretty good. And we do want to have a few of these along the roads because it looks a little bit more natural that way. Especially out over here. Right here. Perfect spot for our little lantern. Let's get some more technology. Down to farms that had colors, extraordinary workers, dog house. We need a bunch of farm points. Okay, there we go. Farm surface increase. That's actually a cool one. Pretty sure we can paint more farm. It's 6,800 now. Paint. That is a lot of space for one farm. And we need a little bit more workers. Look how many workers you need for just one farm. Kind of intimidating. Okay, we're ready to go to the next tier now. Let's do it. I think this is the last tier. We go from a pretty big building to a prettier big building. Very good. Right. Getting more decorations as we go. Oh, I didn't... Man. Fountains, brick... These are cool. I didn't know we had Stonehenge. Got a big old boulder. Standing rock. Okay, yeah. Little Stonehenge action going on. Well, boulders can look cool too. A big old rock out there. Couple of rocks here and there. I don't know. Alright, so we have one more tier to go, so we need 60 of them. So we were able to get this many. Now there might be actually a little bit of a trick here. And... oh dude, there's some different styles. This is cool. We're gonna get up some houses here in the back. And then I'm just gonna throw people in here. And then once we hit the next tier, we're just gonna destroy these. Because these guys are worthless. They're worthless. They don't provide anything. Their demands are high. You need a few of them, I guess, as a reminder of how worthless they are. I don't know. But we're not going to keep them. I'm just going to use them to get to the last tier. There we go. We're getting close. And we're running out of luxury goods. Get another luxury up. So here's leisure. Oh yeah, theaters. This is a good one. We need to find a spot for it. Right here's perfect. Also, ball throwers. I love them ball throwers. Let's put one over here. And we can get that up. A good one. Doesn't provide luxury, but provides an entertainment value. And ooh, the launderer. Launderer is a big guy. And he fits pretty well back here. Alright, we're just one family away. Here we go. So we need a 60% happiness on them. Get rid of this one house. And we'll try to get that happiness up. You can see though we're going to need a lot more workers. So we need to start filling in these houses back here. What we need are some of the special buildings that only artisans can do. Continue to unlock these things. So, the post office, the library. Social club. Very high range, small workforce, very low production. Not. It says 5. So I'm always curious. It requires some farming. They got me. The luthier. There we go. This is a good one. Get him built up, see what he needs. Alright, this is an artisan only one, so that's perfect. Bunch. Fortunately, I haven't used artisans in the warehouse. We can also come in here and see where they're getting their happiness. So, diminishing returns. For some reason, the butcher always gives 10. So, we can get quite a bit from more food types. We're going to come over to food. And we're just going to kind of go down the line. I think what we'll do here, put one stand. A fish stall, very good. That fish stall, I think will do wonders. Yeah, see that gave everyone over here a bonus, plus 4%. More decorations, of course, will help out. More luxury goods. Need to continue to unlock any of these new guys. Oh, look at that, 57%. We're almost at 60. I think we can get there just with decorations. There we go. I was able to do it just by using decorations, get their happiness up. There we are. So let's go to the large city. We hit all the tiers. Now what I'm hoping is I can just destroy those buildings and still retain that tier. Because like I said, they don't really do much for you. They may generate like good money, but the cost in workers and luxury goods and all that, it's very severe. All right, we hit stage 8. Go down. So we've hit the max tier. So now it's just the theory. Still have access, but you need them at a 90. You need them at a 95% happiness to get the grandiose tower. A little bit easier actually to hit those happiness for the news. Okay, so that's beautiful. So we just eliminated all of that just nonsense. They were gonna bankrupt us. All right, cool. So I shave that. Perfect. Now we can continue to move folks in. There we go. I hit these houses with the luxury from here. I just need a little bit more luxury, but here's the problem: is that I have no more space for people to move into. So I need to find some more artisan-only professions. There we go. I have a little bit of space. I lied. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I forgot I upgraded all these houses. I have plenty of space. Well, that's good. So we just want to keep unlocking the higher tier ones. Oh, the jeweler. The jeweler. Okay, the jeweler. This indicates, I believe, artisans are needed. All right. Put the jeweler off to the side over here. A little bit going on. All right. So the jeweler is artisans only, and that's an amazing one. The upkeep's pretty substantial, 540, but that did give us everything we needed. Look at that. We have him at 100% happiness. Okay, so that because we're at 100% happiness, I really want to get the grandiose tower. And so we're not going to build anything. We're not going to build anything more. Or I guess I'll just move people in. There we go. Get some more workers. We got it going on though. And the jewelers. Oh wow, the jewelers is a pretty cool building. Yeah, and the laborers over here, they don't have much. They don't even have food. They're very unproductive. Okay, so I gotta get some food over here. So there's a vegetable stall there. Get this guy, this guy. The thing is there's such a demand, they're barely getting hit. There we go. How we can get some of that. We can get a ball thrower somewhere in here. Right there. Get a little entertainment for these gents. Not gonna hit everybody. These guys are good. These guys in the fringes, but that's okay. Like, I just literally want them for workers. And they're happy enough, right? We're not getting any negatives. They're happy, right? Well, they're still here. They haven't left. They can't be too unhappy. Alright, and we're not going to take anyone who has negatives. They're already pretty miserable over there. And we'll get the 2,000 points here in a second. There's still a few other decorations that we don't have. Let's check out the farmer. So we're not generating a lot of farming points very quickly. We need 1,200 to get the last tier. Flower automation. Interesting. We got the doghouse. The doghouse should be over here. Right, here we go. It's a doghouse. So, I know in early access they're talking about having pets, more pets. So that's how you get a dog in the farming area, but they're supposed to have like cats and... Okay, yeah. I think the dogs are also supposed to like walk around. So they do plan on adding pets and stuff to the game. That'd be interesting. All that in the early access roadmap, if you're wondering how I know that. Okay. Yeah, it looks really cool at night. All the lit up houses. Everything lit up. Looking good. I'm going to put side lights on this thing. Give it a little bit more oomph. We put a couple benches back here. And over here, we definitely need some more stuff. Put a couple little picnic benches. Start adding like some random, you know, bushes. Benches occasionally. Go. I always like these little signboards to the shops. I'll put some hopscotch over here. A little lakeside hopscotch action. Small fountain. Small fountain over there. Doesn't flow or anything, so it looks a little odd. Oh yeah, gotta have the clock. Yeah, the picnic basket can be placed on the tables themselves, so that's cool. Stone basin. Continuing to move families in the background into their spots. There we go, we got the research. Oh, grandiose tower, perfect. And that's an expensive one, but it's also really cool. The radius on that thing. I want to put it up here. I'm going to. That's a cool spot for it. And I can just replant the farm later. Oh, no, it still counts as being underneath it. That's cool. So you don't have to do all grapes. You can do a bunch of different crops off of one farm. Okay. Okay, it did get rid of them. Yeah, we're going to continue to do all grapes. Okay, perfect. That is neat. Got the big old tower back there. We got the clock gate. I actually like to get that right here. This is a beautiful spot for it. So, fortunately, I will have to redo some of this, but that's okay. Place the clock gate right here. Perfection. Right. Go with the hedging way here. That's good. Back to normal. Alright, everything's good now. And I believe I can hang lights off this. Oh yeah, look at that. Lights all the way above the statues. Definitely want to do it on both sides. It will light up at night. It'll look really cool. My only problem is I kind of off-centered this a little weird. There we go. That's a little bit more aligned. Perfect. Get some trees all the way around it. Kind of help fill it in so it doesn't look so weird. There we go. There we go. Okay, bunch of trees around it. That's looking sharp. Alright, Ferris wheel for sure. I want to get that up. Ferris wheel adds just like a lot of zazz. Okay, so where do we want the Ferris? I think over here, off this little parkway, is a great place for it. Get the Ferris wheel up over here. That way we can continue to have a trail going this way. And we'll upgrade this. There we go. Everybody loves the Ferris wheel. A good swath of entertainment. Alright, we still have some free workers. It's looking sharp over here. City Hall. I think I'm going to put City Hall back here. I think this is a boulder. I could destroy this. City Hall will have a pathway like such. That's a pretty sad... Let's make it a little bigger. Alright, there we go. Change the tax rates now. Gonna angle this just a little bit better. I'm gonna make a little circle-y, like such. There we go. I'm gonna line this road with trees. City Hall. Make it look kind of cool, right? I've always liked the houses that I see, like estates, farming estates, where they line their roads with trees. Always looks cool. So there you go. Got yourself a little line of trees. And because this is a very important area, I think you need a park. The giant fountain. And then we need some kind of entry point. I guess it could be this right here. That's perfect. Need to connect the large gate. There we go. A little gated parkway. And do I want a big old clock in here? Ah. But we are going to put some little benches. People sit, eat. Oh, that's kind of cool. So we can hang lanterns off the top of this. And that's what we're going to do. It'll look really cool in the distance. There we go. Okay, so got the hanging lanterns. Definitely need lighting over here. Let's decorate this up a little bit. I think sunflowers look pretty cool on this. Let's go with yellow sunflowers. And we're just gonna give it a little bit of flowers. Alright, looking sharp. Gonna kind of like line gated area with some weird looking tree thingies. Go. Definitely need a giant flag on this, or giant banner. Place outside banners on the edges. And over here, either side of the door, 2 banners. We're looking good. Looking sharp. I've got some new tech points. Cool, wooden decorations. Pottery, merry-go-round. Okay. Yeah, I like the park up here. I think this looks great. It just needs a little bit more of an edge. That's cool. We got chairs. So now we can put chairs on things. That's actually kind of neat because we can even customize these shops. There's so much customization in this game. It's really cool. Okay, we're going to place a couple chairs on alternating sides for these guys. Anyone that doesn't have a bench gets a chair. Go. Same thing over here. Now it looks like people can sit. I like it. Very good. Getting those details in. Nowhere else for people to live. Right. Ooh, we got... No, it's because of the angle. It looks that way. Right. I really like this park on the cliffside here. I'm going to place some lighting down here. But at night, you can see the banners in the distance. It's going to look cool. I'm going to place these guys here too. A little bit extra lighting. Yeah, it's looking good. That is looking sharp. And then, of course, a little bit of light over here. Good to kind of roam around at night and see where a couple of lights would make sense. There we go. Very good. That's looking a little bit more natural. Oh yeah, need a light right here for sure. Put one light right there on the fountain. Yeah, I like that. That looks pretty cool. It's a good spot for City Hall. This is throwing me off a little. I think we need to finish this. So we're gonna do what I have going on with the rest of this, which is just a couple of chairs. I think the chairs actually look a little bit more natural for a beach setting than a bench. Go. Yeah, we have a few more things that we can do. Kind of wondering what a low-lying fence would look like here. Looks like a dangerous shark-infested area. The tall fence looks nice. Not for this. Okay, we're gonna not do that. I think a fountain right here. And then converting all this into road and upgrading it. Look okay. Yeah, a little fountain spot. Okay, look at that. I like to bring in the green like that. I think it looks nice. And we'll get a little bit of a lantern thing going. Here and here. There we go. That's looking sharp. That's looking nicer. A little bit more natural with the surroundings. Alright, we got some more tech points. Funfair fences. That's what I really wanted. These are like the best. We're gonna strap these around the whole thing here. These light up. They look really cool. These are actually like my favorite ones to use if I do outline something. Like lakes and stuff like that. They look great. You can do stuff like that. And then, of course, this, in my opinion, should just be an entire little beach area. It just makes it look more like, these houses are on the lakeside. We're gonna do this for the whole thing. Oh, I kind of wish there were bridges. There we go. That vibe. It actually looks kind of weird to have green on the area here. It should be more like that. And there shouldn't be any vegetation. Oh, that's kind of cool. There's little islands. There could be a couple trees or something, but yeah, should be a little empty. Go. I'm gonna leave the big rock. Okay, so we're just gonna have that area, and I'm just gonna have the situation like this. And I think what we're gonna do is turn this into fairground, right? So I want the dirt path kind of come in like that. Actually, we're rich. We would never have dirt. I will say the dirt looks actually pretty good. I actually want to make this a little bit more circular. There we go. Okay. So now we can get the merry-go-round in here. Second Ferris wheel, if I can afford it. Okay, Ferris wheel right here. Reed organ. Alright, let's get town folk in there. Go. Perfect. And then we can start decorating the rest of this area. Chairs. There we go. So yeah, we created like a little beach resort type area. That looks great. Here we go with some of those things. We can have a picnic table area over here. I think what I'm gonna do, just place a fish stall right here. It kind of looks like, you know, a little restaurant, right? It also serves a purpose because we do need people to eat. So let's do the movement command here. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Let's match these up. Go. Yeah, get some shade. Go. Definitely could put some hopscotch things around this zone. Couple slides in the background, right? There we go. Basic flags here and there. Just realistically, you just start adding a bunch of things, and look, people are populating it. So this is cool. People are gonna populate it. Big reeds. Ooh. You can put reeds along the edges here. I like the reeds. Okay, that's gonna be the reeds for this area. Small plants. Couple plants here and there. Potentially a few trees just like in this area would look kind of nice. Put a statue over here just as we can. There we go. Yeah, nice little boardwalk area. These things really do tie, you know, the designs together. Extra clotheslines. Oh yeah, there we go. Warehouse efficiency. That will give us some workers. Beautiful. This is looking really sharp. My little beach house. Okay. Place a couple basic tables with some benches, or not benches, sorry, some seating for two. Okay. Yeah, these little wooden roof areas, they don't look too bad in the background. Storage. Got a little spot there. This is just like a fake little building. Go. Looks kind of nice. Makes it look a little bit more populated. There we go. Yeah, this place is looking sharp. Some posters up on the walls, right? Make it look a little more like a tourist attraction spot. Food signs. Go. Yeah, and people are actually coming here to eat, so that's really cool looking. Oh, nice, and they're sitting down, so it does kind of look like a restaurant. Very neat. Get a fountain. Why not, right? Get a little bench in front of it. This one. Very good. Ooh, we got bushes. I don't use bushes enough. Some tactical bushes up. Sand bush. Yeah, there's not too many bushes in the sand, but whatever. Should definitely use more bushes. And then design, I don't know why I haven't been. Bushes definitely would have looked better than some other stuff. Okay, I'm feeling good about those choices. Couple bushes in here though, makes it look a little more natural. Alright, so there we go. That's the boardwalk area. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I mean, this is the end of it. We've built everything that I wanted to do. I know that there's more tech, but you know, the design is pretty fun and done. So we can increase the vault size, no problem. But we were able to build a really cool little beachside resort. So everyone have a good day. Special shout out to all my patrons and members. Thank you guys for sponsoring the channel.